one interesting thing about Florida, and I obviously don't live in Florida, and so I see what goes into the national news. Well, what's in the national news in Florida is a lot of your governor, Governor DeSantis, and his battle with Disney, and some changes politically down there. Do you see any impacts of political changes in Florida the last few years on your markets or on your properties, either positive or negative?
I mean, I'll answer that first. And Chris and I have had lots of conversations on this. One of our principles now, Jim, or things to avoid, is the pitfalls that can come in a state where you can't collect rents is very real. And we had some friends in parts of California and upstate New York who had a really hard time collecting their rents through the pandemic. Right or wrong, when you have your own portfolio, that's something you really have to watch. In Florida, going through something as crazy as the pandemic, we saw that, and again, this isn't a political slant either way, we were able to collect rents. Issues we heard elsewhere were not. So I actually feel more confident in Florida, more successful. I got to be honest, our Georgia markets, which we've had, it was harder to collect rents. And for me personally, I just want to go where it's landlord friendly. And landlord friendly doesn't mean you slant it towards the landlord, but when push comes to shove, will I be able to collect my rents? So I actually believe through the pandemic and some of the craziness, we were able to be seen as a place where it's landlord accommodating, which I think is fair and has been helpful. Chris, I don't know if you have any opinion on that.
No, I second what you're saying. We saw in, what I would say in Georgia were some, very abusive to landlord rules, where you couldn't remove tenants that weren't paying. And, and it caused some heartache. Whereas in Florida, we just didn't see that. We had, a significantly higher collection rate in the state of Florida through the pandemic than we did in Georgia. And those are our two our two data points. But I would tell you that Georgia had a heck of a lot better collection rate than New York or California. So I think that property rights mean something in the state of Florida, and I think that was reinforced throughout the pandemic by the administration.
The hosts of The White Coat Investor are not licensed accountants, attorneys, or financial advisors. This podcast is for your entertainment and information only. It should not be considered professional or personalized financial advice. You should consult the appropriate professional for specific advice relating to your situation.